Hello and welcome to the Crypto Jungle. My name is Baloo the Bear, and here on the channel, we keep crypto simple. I'm not going to feed you a bunch of garbage. We are the most honest and realistic channel here on all of YouTube. So if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let's just get right into it. So we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We have our first kind of bullish signal. We have our first kind of sign of strength. So people are wondering, hey, is this a bear trap? Is this a bull trap? Are we going to get faked out here? Do I position now? Do I wait for a pullback? A lot of confusion in the market right now. So we'll talk about a few different scenarios as to what you can be looking for when you're trying to interpret how to position alongside this market. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into the king of all cryptocurrencies, and that is Bitcoin. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Shashwat. Welcome to the stream. So we're taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart. So we got our SOS. In the Wyckoff method, the sign of strength is that first indication that there is a possibility for a markup event. So if this does confirm, if we get an LPS, a last point of support, and we break out of this consolidation, that is going to confirm this entire consolidation as a reaccumulation after decline, which, you know, those are one of the trickiest consolidations to position alongside to the bullish side, because what happens in a reaccumulation after decline is you head into a macro downtrend. When you're in a downtrend, you have to think bearish. So, you know, it's been a confusing time for a lot of people. I've been flipping bull, flipping bear. So, you know, it is what it is. That's trading sometimes. But this right here, this one little signal here, this green after green after green after green after green after green after green day is a sign of strength in the Wyckoff method. So we broke above the candle body closes. We broke above the candle body wicks. We have a new high on this consolidation, and we're wanting to see if we can, you know, form that higher low. So for those who are bold, for those who are trained, for those who are able to monitor positions and know when to cut them cleanly off at the knees when it goes the other way, when it goes to the downside if you're positioning long, this is a time where you can position. You can buy these breakouts. I am a breakout trader. I bought the breakout of this consolidation, so I have a portion of my position already in. But for those who are sitting on the sidelines being like, what do we do? What do we do? I don't think, you know, there are better confirmations as we leave that can be, that's where things really get going here. So we're not in a position to really start melting faces and heading off to the moon just yet, because there are some macro things that we need to see in the charts for the macro investors with, you know, large injections of capital to come in. So I'll show you what that looks like. Good morning if it's morning for you. It is quite a rainy storm here in Indonesia, so hopefully we don't end up like what's going on with the Philippines with all the flooding and all of that. But yeah, so we have gotten our new higher high. What we're looking for now is we're either looking for this area of the top of the channel to hold, this area right here to hold, but we kind of sat right on it on the daily close. Just got our daily close 7 minutes ago, so it looks like we're going to be testing the testing down at lower levels. So, you know, we're looking for that higher low. This is our local low. If we get a higher low, if it comes down here, if it comes up here, it doesn't matter. Wherever we get a higher low, the higher low is going to be one of the most important signals to the market that we are indeed changing the trend and finding a continuation to the upside. So that's what a lot of the money on the sidelines is looking for. That's what smart money is looking for. That's what anybody who is you know, looking to position alongside in the middle of a bull trend. You know, it's very risky to take large positions in the middle of a bull trend, but if you get these macro confirmations, it can be a lot better. So basically, we're looking for this LPS. You can try and catch the LPS. The only way you're really going to catch it is if you have a series of orders at different levels to kind of scale into the generalized area. But another method that you can do is just a break of the high right here. So if we get our LPS, that's the signal. That's the signal to the market that we have a first higher low. That higher low confirms with a continuation of the high. Where does it confirm? It confirms right here as we break this high. So this would be an area where I will add to the position as well. I buy breakouts. So, you know, you get that, you can add a position here. It's a lot harder to kind of nail a bottom, but it's a lot easier to buy a breakout of a continuation of trend. So that's basically what I'm looking for in terms of Bitcoin. Another altcoin, or the number one altcoin that we're paying attention to, is Ethereum. So Ethereum, very similar structure, a little bit lagging in the sense that it's still inside of its trading range here. Oops, back. You know, we're still inside of our trading range. We haven't broken above for our sign of strength. So structurally speaking, it's lagging behind a little bit, but you know, it's still a healthy trend. We're breaking out some of the local areas, the local highs, and we're ticking to the upside. It's looking good. Robbie, glad you bought the dip. Well done. Well done. Dissix, good evening. Good morning. If BTC is in a bit of a holding pattern, is Ethereum in bull mode? So I think, you know, Bitcoin is showing the potential of trend shift. So this is the first kind of check mark towards it not being in a holding pattern. This is the first check mark where it does, you know, potentially shift trend and head to the upside. So currently, yeah, we're holding certain levels, but keep in mind that while Bitcoin declines, altcoins decline, and while Bitcoin goes up, they don't necessarily go up with it. So if you are strictly an altcoin trader, if you're not exposed to Bitcoin, first of all, I think, you know, Bitcoin rules the space, so you're going to kind of be very confused as a trader if you're not hedging some of your portfolio with Bitcoin. But what you can pay attention to is Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance chart can tell you a lot in regards to when it's a good time to be exposed to altcoins and when it's a bad time. So, you know, as long as you're printing red candles on the Bitcoin dominance chart, in the context of Bitcoin going sideways or up, it's a good time to be positioned in altcoins. But structurally speaking, Bitcoin is leading right now. In the Wyckoff method, you want to position yourself alongside strength. You want to position yourself alongside the leaders. So, you know, right now, if we're talking the short to medium term, I think Bitcoin is the play currently. Although Ethereum is not looking that bad either. And if this is kind of the last push of the cycle, Ethereum and altcoins do typically outperform Bitcoin at that final push. Okay. For a higher low, does the height of the low matter for the potential upswing? No. So the height of the low won't dictate the height of the high. All we're looking for is just market structure and trend. So right now, currently, what we've been printing is lower highs and lower lows. So at a trend change, there's really, you know, people kind of overcomplicate your ability to dictate price predictions and stuff like that. Basically, when we're going up, we're going up. And that's really as simple as you have to look at it. So as long as we're printing higher lows and higher highs, the assumption is continuation. So, and the same is true in a downtrend. So, you know, the size of the swing, you can pull Fibonacci's and stuff, but they don't always end up being reliable. They can fall short of Fibonacci's. They can go beyond Fibonacci's. So for that reason, I don't hold much weight on it. But right now, what we're experiencing in Bitcoin is just that transition from lower lows to lower highs to the first higher high. And now we need a higher low. When we get that higher low, then it's just, you know, we're going up. And that's all that you really need to know. Shout out. Okay, aloha, welcome in Kahuna Organics. Nice to see you in the chat. Ontario, welcome in. Good morning to you. Thank you. Okay, so the play to earn space, the Axie Infinity ecosystem. Axie's looking a little bit weak, which is, for me, being a breeder and a scholar manager, I'm very happy to see. I don't want to see this asset class go parabolic. I know that a lot of people are in here for the gains, and you may only have exposure to the AXS token and not the Axie Infinity ecosystem. But for me, If we can trade sideways with a little bit of down, I'm much happier in those conditions, being that I breed Axies, being that I am managing scholarships. I am here for the long game. I want it to take as long as possible. If we can keep doing this for months, I'm a happy camper. So I did hedge my AXS 1-to-1 hedge. So I just neutralized the price at $40. You can do that with two positions that are counteracting each other. So I hold X amount of a spot. I would cover that with X amount of futures contracts to the short side, and it neutralizes the price and keeps it at $40. So that's what I've done with my AXS position, just to see how this consolidation plays out. But I'm kind of hoping that we retrace a little bit and maybe get some prices down at the $20 to $25 range. I think that would be very healthy. It'll kind of readjust the price of the Axies. If you see it down at 20 to 25 bucks, that may be an opportunity if you've been sitting on the sidelines to get involved with the Axie Infinity ecosystem. This might be your chance to actually get a position in AXS so that you can breed and grow inside of that ecosystem, because it, in my opinion, is one of the healthiest and best projects in the entire cryptocurrency space, period. It's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Axie. So I'm very, very impressed with what's going on with that digital economy. And if you are wanting to learn more, we do have a side server inside of my private Discord. If you want to gain entry, we can teach you everything from becoming a player to becoming a manager to becoming a breeder. All of that is included in your membership. So links below if you are interested. 50% off your first month with the coupon code WELCOME. Morning from Australia. I'm ready to buy more BTC and ETH, just waiting to see how low the LPS goes here, then start averaging in. Yeah, if you missed kind of the beginning here, I was talking about how it's okay to kind of wait for that retracement, because, wherever the LPS comes in, you'll be able to average in. And then if if we head to the downside, this breakout area, this breakout of this high, that's going to be the time for you to be like, well, I missed the LPS, time to get positioned. If you haven't already done so, hit the like button. It does help out the algorithm, helps people discover this channel. Or maybe don't. Maybe never hit the like button so that I'm never discovered and I stay small and private for you guys. I don't know. Okay, so we talked about AXS. Let's take a quick look at SLP. This one's more so for my scholars. SLP, it's in a downtrend. It's not looking great. We're making lower lows. We're making lower highs. So that trend will continue until we get a little bit of a flattening out. I'd be looking for support somewhere around the 70. I think 15 is a nice psychological level. 18 cents would be nice. Maybe we kind of hover above 20 cents. I don't know what the fair market value of SLP is. But we'll find out when we stop this downtrend. So it could be 20 cents, it could be 15 cents, we could be going back down to 10 or 12 cents. So do be prepared for that. If you are collecting a paycheck in SLP, realize that this is volatile. Don't, just sell it or hold it. If you're going to hold long term, if you're just going to hold till the next claim, maybe just sell it. But anyways, I can't really tell you what to do with your money, but yeah, currently in a downtrend. Can you explain Axie to someone who's never heard of it? So basically, it's a game. It is a game that uses these little Pokemon-inspired creatures. I know how ridiculous it sounds. Believe me, I'm not a gamer, but it's these Pokemon-inspired creatures that you can play either in adventure mode or one-on-one against other players. They have different traits, different cards. It's basically like a Pokemon card game. But what's unique is the marketplace is incredibly liquid. The marketplace for Axies it's astonishing how liquid this market is. Total volume, so total sales today, 50,000 in the last 24 hours. There's been 10,000 Ethereum traded on this marketplace. It is one of the healthiest, most liquid NFT marketplaces that we have in all of cryptocurrency by a factor of 10. It's massive. Okay, so whether you like the game or not is pretty irrelevant because we have a thriving marketplace here. So for me, what you can do with these little creatures is you breed them. So they cost a certain amount of AXS. You pick 2 that have traits that you want to breed for. You breed them. They turn into eggs. I got a bunch of eggs here. I know how ridiculous this looks on the surface, but it is worth paying a little bit of attention to, because the economy between the players, you capitalize on the earnings of players by loaning out your Axies. Those pay into the breeders. The breeders continue to breed. Then you have people providing specific Axies that do well in battles that get you onto the leaderboard. It's like this secular system of a digital NFT economy that's, like I said, the healthiest. So definitely worth paying attention to. Go just fall down a YouTube rabbit hole. I'm not an Axie channel, even though I am, involved in this economy. I'm still a TA channel, so I won't get too into the weeds on it. But yeah, just definitely take a look at it. Another play to earn token that we're monitoring is the Alice token. This is fundamentally a lot less sound because there is no functioning product with the Axie token. Don't you need 3 and they are $600 each? Yeah, you need 3 of them. The floor is around $350, but those aren't really playable. So yeah, you need about 3 of them to play. And depending on how much time you put into it and depending on your rating, you will receive $1,500 to $2,500 a month for playing this game. So yes, there's an upfront cost, but the ROI in the current market conditions, not financial advice, I can't predict the future, but in the current market conditions, the ROI on those 3 Axies is good. I will say that while the AXS token and the SLP token are in a decline, the marketplace has a 5-day delay on the repricing of Axies. So if we're seeing a decline in those 2 tokens, we're going to see a decline in the price of the Axies as well. So it's usually 5 days behind because the eggs take 5 days to hatch. So the prices are always correlated with those 2 assets. So we could be seeing cheaper prices on the horizon for Axies. To start as a player, you're going to need about an Ethereum. You'll need an Ethereum to get started with a playable team. Excuse me. A playable team that you'll be able to breed. If you want to do it really, really cheap, you can buy 3 floor Axies. That's like, it's like $900. So, you can get away with it doing it cheaply. Just don't expect to be performing at a high level where you get a good return on your SLP. Anyways, that's enough Axie talk. Interested to hear your thoughts on how many entry positions would you split your total investment into for averaging? So yeah, that's a really good question. Kind of when I see a chart that I like and I want to average in, like, first of all, I buy the breakout. So I bought the break of the candle body close right here at 41. I'm down on that position, but that's still a confirmation, so I'm happy to buy it. And then, when you're wanting to average in at a general area of support, you have 2 choices. You either watch it, you either watch it and wait for the turnaround. So basically, you allow the price to decline, and you wait for the turnaround and you buy the break of the turnaround, or you do what's called a buy wall. These are 24-hour markets, so it is hard to be present all the time. So you can just find a general range where you're happy, and you can just do a buy wall in a general area. So you just set a series of orders that will trigger, and this might equate to maybe 30% of your position. So maybe you took 30% of the position up here, and then you're going to split 30% of your position again into 5 separate buy wall positions. And then you might have 30% of the position again as you get some of the breakout confirmations as we leave the trend. Or you just go all in. Not financial advice, but yeah, you could just, take a position based on other metrics. Like, we do have a trader in the group, Matthew, the inventor of the Alpha Metrics indicator, who just trades these bullish and bearish signals. So if you are interested in getting your hands on this indicator, it can be stripped down and made very, very simple. Basically, you just, let's actually make this really clean. anytime this wave is green, you go long. Anytime it flips short, you go short, or you exit the position. So if you're interested in getting your hands on a very dumbed down, easy to use, simple indicator, then links below. Again, there's a discount for all new members. Coupon code WELCOME at checkout. So, you know, this now with a strategy like this, you have to understand that fake outs happen. Okay, so there is no indicator that works every single time. It just doesn't exist. And if it did exist, it wouldn't work after a certain period of time because everybody would use it and the market dynamics would shift. So how this works is when it tells you to buy, you buy. And if it tells you to get out right away, you get out. So like, here's an example where you go short, you didn't get much of a trade at all, and it tells you to go long, you exit the short. Then it told you to short again, you didn't get any of the position again, so it's chopping you up a little bit. So, you know, there is no perfect indicator, but this is a very kind of easy way to position, and this works great on the higher time frames. We're about to get a bullish cross on the 3-day with this one, so yeah, we got some macro coming in for sure. Go all in at the bottom yellow line. Yeah, if we get it, for sure. Yeah, if we get another test down here, as long as it holds a higher low, yes. If it breaks market structure and heads to the downside, I would say no. That's the thing. So there is one caveat to this I almost forgot to mention, and that's what's going on with, we've been watching the BLX chart. So we are currently, this is on the logarithmic scale on the 3-day. We are currently on a bearish retest of the underside of the channel. So this is where the supply has come in. This is where we're slowing down. If we fail to get back inside the channel, you know, it's just a bearish test and we'll head to the downside. So if we do take out this low at 30K, it's continuation of the bear market. So, you know, when the signals come, you got to take the bullish signals. You have to be able to flip. If you can't flip your bias from one day to the next, honestly, you're not a trader. Yeah, so we are a little bit of bearish information here as we are on a bearish test on the underside of this channel right here. So something to keep in mind of. Keep in mind too that if we do break back inside the channel, it's probably going to be a big move. You'll probably get a big move before you get another retest. So keep that in mind. Okay. With Axie, number go up, so it's popular. I would agree with that, but it's been in development since 2017, so it's not like it just went parabolic. It has gained popularity because the number going up. That's how it is in markets, period. Everybody jumps in at the end when things are going parabolic. That will never change, ever. That's just how it is. We technically broke structure on the pump last week on the daily time frame. Yes, we broke structure to the upside. Okay. So we have a few more that I want to take a look at real quick before I gotta get out of here and head into the virtual classroom. So if you are wanting to gain access to the virtual classroom where we do more in-depth analysis and strategy building so that you're able to build a strategy, the whole point of my trading group is not to spoon feed you signals, okay? The point of the trading group is to teach you how to identify trading opportunities in the charts, because I can tell you right now, there's a reason signal groups don't work. The reason signal groups don't work is because by the time you get the signal, it's too late. You need to be able to interpret the charts so that you can see the price action develop, so that you can see the signal as it's about to happen, and then you position alongside that signal. If you are wanting that sort of kind of educational structure, that's what we focus on. We focus on mentoring, we focus on strategy, and you know, basically giving you the skills so that you don't even need the group. It's kind of a shitty business model, but my goal is to get you out of the group because you don't need us anymore. So, but yeah. Have I ever looked into Fear? Yeah, I looked into it. It looked like kind of a shitty game. Didn't really like the game that much. It was just kind of silly. What's really special about the gaming space is not the ability to earn tokens while you play. What's really special is with a project like Axie Infinity, where you have the ability to offer scholarships. How that is so profound, it is the first time in the gaming industry, period, that we have been able to monetize an individual's gameplay. I take a percentage of the in-game earnings that my scholars provide. So that's scalable. You know, if I can only make, if I can make 200 SLP in a day, that's great. But if I can start 50 scholarships and I can, or 10 scholarships and I can make 2,000 SLP a day, or, 100 scholarships and 20,000 SLP a day, that's where the money is. That's what's unique about Axie Infinity, is the ability to offer scholarships, the ability for you to hand over your Axies to another player so that you can take a cut of their gameplay. That's what's profound about Axie. Now I lost my train of thought here. What was I talking about? Yeah, oh yeah, fear. I did look into fear, and yeah, it's not really impressed. Most of these play to earn games I'm not really impressed with. It's you got to follow the leaders. Follow the leaders. As far as NFT gaming, it's Axie. Okay, so there are a couple other charts that I want to take a look at. This one, we're looking at XRP. XRP also kind of showing that transition in trend. What is interesting about XRP is it's kind of a late cycle pump. Well, we don't have a whole bunch of data to go off of, but XRP pumped at the end of last cycle. And I think that if we continue bullish, this is going to be the last hit. It's going to be the last pump. It's going to be the final push before we get really overbought and we need to correct into somewhat of a bear market. Whatever the bear market may be in terms of duration is yet to be determined. But I think, that final push where we get overbought is coming. XRP looks like it's potentially setting up, potentially getting that trend shift. You can see on the weekly here. I think we need a longer XRP chart. Let's go to Bitfinex. So on the weekly, we are looking to kind of get our bullish cross on the weekly on the alphanumerics indicator. We're changing the trend. This is our higher low. Another one is kind of Monero. Monero also doing that on the weekly. So we're getting our higher low, our turnaround. Both of these assets are the ones that pump at the end of the cycle. So I do think we're getting near the end. I think that, Bitcoin will get its blow off top. If we get a continuation to the upside, I think we're going to be expecting kind of a blow off top. But, I'm not here to predict the future. I simply interpret the market as it prints candle by candle. So, I'm not telling you it's going to, I'm just saying it looks as though we are forming market structure that would allow those conditions to happen. So that's what I'm looking at. Anyways, that is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And if there are any projects that you would like me to take a look at, leave them in the comments section down below. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.